What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome into another edition of Near Falls with D Hall, a wrestling podcast. Today, it is my favorite episode of the year, my favorite project, the WPIAL Preseason Preview. So pumped up to release this to you guys. Just right off the bat, we're doing it a little bit different than we did last year. Last year, I had them all together on one. It was like 3 hours long. It was a lot. This year, I'm changing it up. Each single team is going to have their own little video, their own little episode of the pod. So you won't have to sift through all the other stuff. Super excited for that. We talked to all these different coaches, man. I had 30 guys come on from across AA and AAA, which shattered my goals for this year, which is awesome. So yeah, man, I'm just super excited to release this to you guys. It was a lot of fun. These coaches were open and honest. They had great insight, and for me, man, just to sit down and listen to these guys talk about what they're wrestling, there's not much better in my world. So without further ado, here is the WPIAL Preseason Preview. Thank you, guys. Love Jens. As always, brought to you by Switch Custom Apparel.
Welcome to the Near Falls WPIAL Show, where Dial and Kaz are gonna tell you all the things you wanna know. Whether it's Trinity or Spencer Lee or Mr. Kurt Angle, just ask Vinny D, WPIAL, yeah, Ken and Mac for sure. They got the interviews to soothe your soul, because it's Near Falls in the WPIAL.
Joining me now on the call, we have head coach of Frazier Area High School, my good buddy, Buck Watkins. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. Hey, I appreciate the opportunity to be on this show. I mean, there's been a lot of great guests that have come on, and I'm very appreciative to talk about Frazier wrestling.
Let's go, man. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get right into it. How's the off-season program gone for you guys?
Off season's gone really well. We have 9 guys wrestling club. We had 2 guys go for General, became an All-American. He was 1 round away from becoming an All-American. Jackson Angelo had a great showing out there as well. And then we had 3 guys go to Super 32. They had a good showing. Rune obviously made the finals, lost a close match to a pretty tough ranked guy. And Jonah and Jackson had a good showing. And then we had other guys on club dual teams and stuff, wrestling a lot. So, everybody's getting better together.
I love that. Good stuff. Okay, as you know, you're talking about that. Who are some of the freshmen that we might want to keep our eye on?
We have 1 freshman on the team this year. His name's Chase Salashi. He's brought up. He's been wrestling club past couple, and he's getting better. He knows what's at stake. He knows task at hand. He's gonna do some good things. I think this is the year that he really gets over the hump. It's gonna be a key piece to our team.
Good stuff. How about lead or seniors? Who are you going to be leaning on this year?
There's no doubt about it. I got the baddest man in WPIL on my team.
Let's go talk that. Buck, go ahead.
And I'm not scared to say that. He's the baddest man in WPIL. Right. Rune has definitely changed the tempo this year. He's the first guy in practice, and he's the last guy to leave, and he's really turned the corner as far as his maturity and leadership abilities.
Oh, I love hearing that, man. That gets me excited. So talk a little bit more about Rune making the decision to go down to West Virginia. I'm excited about that. He's going to be teaming up with my good buddy Ty Waters down there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Rune Lawrence, he's something special. He's a guy, but our relationship goes beyond the wrestling mat there. He was on an interview a couple weeks ago, and the guy asked him, what's the most important thing Coach Watkins does for you? And he said, it's not necessarily what he says to me on the mat. It's what he says off the mat that has really helped me a lot. And he's really turned the corner maturity-wise. Obviously, they know he's a good wrestler, but on the upside of him, he hasn't wrestled. All these other guys, the guy lost to wrestled all summer, probably wrestled freestyle and things like that, and Rune has yet to touch the surface. It's always bothered me that I felt that he's never wrestled enough, but you don't fix what's not broken, if that makes sense.
No doubt about it, Buck. That's a good way to leave that. Okay, Next thing I have, coaching staff. Who's helping you this year?
I have a guy by the name of Earl Moore. He wrestled at Laura Highlands in the late 90s, early 2000s. We're about the same age. He lives in Perryopolis. Was on staff last year. Just a great guy to have around. Real mellow. Obviously, we have expectations. So one thing about that I've implied this year, there's two things I've implied. The first thing I've implied is about our goal reveal and our goal fulfilled. And the goal reveal is obviously our team expectation is to the boys expect themselves as to be WPIAL team champs this year.
Ooh, love that.
The school, obviously we're top 4 last year, but then the goal fulfilled, to fulfill that goal, you got to go into the center. You got to, it's called the process. And the process isn't always perfect. It's not always pretty.
Yeah.
We never know what's going to happen to our team. Might get injuries. Guys might get sick. Guy might not make weight. Everything can happen. But at the end of the year, guys got to wrestle their best. And then the second thing that I'm implementing this year is that wrestling's not a grind. And a lot of people don't like that philosophy. And they're like, because you always hear this, saying embrace the grind and things like that. But my question is, do you ever leave the dentist office and them tell you have a nice day grinding your teeth? Because they don't want you to grind your teeth away or break them down. And the same thing is happening with my coaching philosophy change in the sport of wrestling. I want guys to, not be their best in December. I want them to be the best in March. And I probably give more days off than any other coach in the WPIL. But, hey, some people like it, some people don't. It works for some, it doesn't work for everybody, and that's okay. But, I stand by it. I know what I believe in. And, obviously it's helped grow this I've helped grow this program. And, we got 20 guys on the roster this year. So, they expect big things, and, I expect big things out of them in return.
Good stuff. Okay, coach. New question this year. Room games. What do you guys get into? Dodgeball, kickball, handball.
So my guys are big squirrel guys. Everybody gets in the center and they take them down. Obviously everybody, the whole
You
goal.
get in there, Buck? You get in there?
No, I do not.
Come on, Buck.
No, and I'll tell you why, because I don't want to get hurt by Rune. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I tell people that all the time. Like,
He's a freak.
yeah, and I know I'm the first one going to get it, so I don't step into that freight train right there. But it's something the guys do before we start getting warmed up. About 5-10 minutes of it. Nobody's been hurt, so that's a good thing, because you always worry about that. Guys getting hurt in those games.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, coach. Next thing I have for your schedule. What's that look like for you, and how are you getting these guys ready for the end of the year?
So last year I felt that so I changed it up a little bit this year. Last year I felt we wrestled a ton at the backside of it, and this year I changed it. We're going to wrestle a ton in the beginning. We go to the Sheets Kickoff Classic in Greenville, meet some AA teams up there. And then I got 5 guys going to the Ironman the next weekend. Usually it's 1, but this year we have 5.
Nice.
And then we go to the Powerade at Christmas. And then we go to the best team in Fayette County right now. The team I'm looking to chase. We go to Collinsville duels. That's tough duels. And I'm excited for those. And then we finish up our tournament season with the Thomas Chevrolet tournament, tough AA tournament. So we got a pretty tough schedule. Obviously our section's pretty solid with Southmoreland, Bell Vernon, Mount Pleasant. We look to compete against them and things like that. But, obviously, like I told somebody the other day, I said Collinsville's standing in Fayette County, but we're coming.
Let's go, Buck. I love that.
No, it's a competitive thing. I mean, they're AA, they're AAA. I want them to win. They want us to do well. It's nice to represent Fayette County to our best ability. We got tough people there, and obviously Brownsville's going to start their program soon too. So we'll have 4 teams in Fayette County. Howard Gallatin as well. They're getting better, but Collinsville Standard but hey, for AA, we're coming.
I love
We're
that.
gonna come after it.
I love that, Buck. Good stuff. Okay. Social medias. How can we follow the squad this year?
So there's a Frazier Athletics social media. There's Instagram. There's a Twitter. I think there's a Frazier High School Wrestling page too on Facebook. All those are out there. I share a lot of stuff, just on my own personal thing, but I'm trying to stay away from that. I'd rather people follow, Frazier Wrestling, things like that, because I'm involved in the sport of wrestling pretty heavy. So those types of things. The other thing that happens is we also see a difference, getting people more excited about our wrestling team. I want to grow the program every year. We have close to 40 kids in our youth program. I think we have about, 10, maybe 12 in our middle school program. Keep wanting to grow on those numbers as well.